Hello, this is Amanda from Rise and Procrastinate, and today I'm back with another video for cat scrappiness. I'm going to be using the 5x7 Woodgrain framed diamond wire die. That's a mouthful. And I cut it 3 times, once out of a craft cardstock, once out of a green cardstock, and once out of a red cardstock, all 100-pound cardstock. And I will be doing some inlay die cutting, but I'm going to be doing it at offset a little bit. So first I'm just going to be using this craft cardstock as a template, so to speak, for my inlay. And then I will be offsetting the parts that I'm gluing down here right now that you see. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of this inlay. I'm not going to show it to you all, obviously, because it's very repetitive. But I'm just going to show you how I'm using this as a template. I've just got it taped down with some temporary tape on the sides there. That's what that blue tape is. And then I'm going to, through the magic of editing, show you all these solid pieces here, all inlaid, and then I will show you kind of how I went about offsetting it a little bit. So I started off with these full pieces. As you can see, the magic of editing, all these full pieces are inlaid. Now I'm just going to remove my template here and kind of figure out how far I need to go with this so I have it as an offset. So you see I want to offset it a little bit here. And then I'm going to slow down the video for just a second. This is still double speed, but I'm just trying to think here while I'm offsetting it what I need to do. So as you can see here, at the top, I need kind of like 3/4 pieces plus some little triangles. On the bottom, I need some little bits there. And on the right-hand side, see, I'm showing you right now what I need to fill in. So I'm just going to take my template here, put it back over, but I'm going to raise it up a little bit so I can still use it as a template. So I'm just kind of fiddling around here, figuring out the best way to use this piece as my template still, and still not have to move it a bunch. So I just kind of moved it up a couple and over a couple, or over one, I guess. And now I'm going to go back off screen and fill in some more of these. And the magic of editing, you can see that I have filled in quite a few more of these. And you can see that I just need those little bits of triangles here. So I'm just going to shift my template over again and fill in those triangle pieces up at the top. And I just left this in a little bit so you can just kind of see where I'm going with this. I just need to fill in those little triangle pieces. And then that will be the end, I believe, of filling in all of this. Now, if I wanted to be a little bit more conservative with my pieces, I probably could have figured out exactly what pieces I needed to fill in those sides, you know, with the half diamonds and everything. I really didn't bother with that. But if you wanted to make exactly 3 cards with this and use all of your pieces and not have to cut any more, you could sit there and figure that out. I didn't really want to do all that. I do have extra bits. I use those extra bits on some cards that I made off screen a few days after I filmed this. I did have to cut a few extra pieces to make those cards. I did not do the offset die cut technique. I just did a regular inlay on those. But you could definitely sit there and figure that all out mathematically. I did not feel like putting that much effort into it. So now I'm just using the 5x7 never ending rectangle die, the second to the largest on this, because I wanted it to be slightly smaller than my panel so I didn't have anything hanging out. I don't think it would have hung out, but just in case, so I could shift it exactly where I needed it to go and nothing would hang out. So I'm just going to put some glue on my Woodgrain diamond wire die here and glue that to the back panel. So that white cardstock that I was doing the inlay technique on is not 100-pound cardstock, just to clarify that. I did do that on some 60-pound cardstock. That way it wasn't going to be difficult to die cut through both the colored cardstock and the white cardstock. I'm just putting some little tiny dots on those wire pieces, and now I'm just going to line everything up and press this down. It did take just a second to get everything lined up exactly where I wanted it, but that's why I work with liquid glue instead of dry adhesive. If you're more comfortable with dry adhesive, you could definitely use that instead though. Just going to get this on here, and then I'm going to lay my stamp positioner on top of it while it dries, so everything dries nice and flat. So now I'm taking a couple of the images from the Christmas costume add-on stamp set, and I'm going to stamp those. Now this actually goes with one of the Aqua dress-up sets, but I'm not going to use the Aquas today. I'm just going to use a Christmas tree and a present just to decorate my card with. I didn't feel like using the Aquas. I think that all of the images are very versatile in this set, and you definitely don't have to use all of the images. So I was just showing that. I did color these off screen with my Copics, and now I'm using the coordinating die set to cut these out. So the Copic colors were listed up on the screen, and they will also be listed in my description box below the video as well. So I'm just going to glue these flat on the card with a little bit of Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, which is my adhesive of choice. I'm just going to glue that in the corner, the bottom right hand corner. So I did not want to cover up my entire background after I spent all that time in laying those pieces, and it was kind of tedious and time consuming. I'm also using the Christmas Wishes word and shadow die. I did stack the word, I believe 3 layers thick with 100-pound cardstock, and then I put it on a vellum layer. And I'm just putting little tiny dots of adhesive behind the cardstock word, so the adhesive does not show behind my vellum. So just little tiny dots behind those words. And while everything is drying, I do have it underneath my stamp positioner just to keep everything nice and flat while it dries. And then I'm going to get out my embellishment organizer from Cat Scrappiness. I do find this very handy to keep all my sequins and embellishment mixes together and nice and organized. And I'm using the embellishment funnel tray, also from Cat Scrappiness, just to spread out some embellishments and be able to pick them up and put them on my card with my embellishment picker. I did have the S in Christmas pop up a little bit, so I did glue that down. So I'm just picking out some snowflakes and some sequins from the which mix did I use? I believe the Holiday Bliss sequin mix. So those are the only 2 that I decided to use, but you could definitely use them all if you wanted to. But I used some red glitter sequins and the white snowflakes and just put a few on my card just to add a little bit of bling to the card. And then as a final touch, I did use some Nuvo Aqua Shimmer pen in glitter gloss, which is just a clear, sparkly glitter pen. And I just put that over the Christmas Wishes sentiment. And then I'm also going to put it on the ribbon on the present and the star on the Christmas tree as well. All right, lastly, I'm just going to glue my card front to my card base. This is a 5x7 card, if I didn't mention that in the beginning, but I believe I did because I used a 5x7 die. But if I didn't, just so you know, this is a 5x7 card. I'm not sure if I cut my card base correctly or not, but it did leave just a tiny white border around the edge, which I do like, so not a problem for me, but I may have cut my card base just slightly too big. I am using a white gel pen just to cover up a little bit of Copic marker that bled outside the line, and this will finish my card today. I hope that you enjoyed it, but before you go, I do have one last little goodie to share with you. In every order that you order with Cat Scrappiness, there will be this little goodie bag. It will have a piece of candy, a sequin mix, or some kind of embellishment mix. Yours may be different than the one that I'm showing here. A candy, a scratch-off ticket, which will give you a discount off your next order. You can scratch it with your nail or a quarter or whatever. And a little post-it note package. So I just wanted to share that with you, that you can expect that in every order through Christmas. Don't forget that my supply links are in the description box below, as well as links to the Cat Scrappiness store and Facebook group. As always, have a great day.